And hundreds of people from the Filipino community are gathering at support rallies for the 10 presidential candidates vying for the role in the Philippines. Immigrants and overseas workers say voting in the election is important, even though the Philippines is more than 12,000 kilometers away. CBC community reporter Joanne Roberts has that story.
Political rallies feel a lot like a festival for Filipinos. There's entertainment, endless amounts of food, and you feel a flurry of excitement as soon as you spot the crowd. On May 9th, the Philippines will elect its new president and vice president who will serve for 6 years. Regardless of who they're voting for, the Filipino community in Manitoba seem to want the same thing.
That leader should be honest, an honest person.
Every vote counts, so please choose the leader that is sincere and honest.
International student Leonilo Santiago III is disappointed he's unable to vote this year. While moving here, he missed the window to register for overseas voting, but he still keeps up with the election. He looks at articles online and he speaks with his friends and family in Canada and in the Philippines about what's going on.
The common denominator that I feel like they're looking for is, I guess, the strength. The strength of, because we are in hard times.
Santiago says people are seeing others suffering under the conditions which were made worse because of the pandemic.
It's not like in the past where you're just there and like you're at work but you don't hear the television. But now, because we're so isolated, we're forced to hear this.
Life in Canada means leaving family behind in the Philippines, which is one of the reasons the community here says it's important to improve life back home.
Right now, they are still asking for our help. Like when they need for health, they have health problems, we still send money there.
Emily de Guzman says many send money to relatives to help them get by. Voting from overseas is a duty, another way to help.
It's about loving our countrymen still, even though we're still here.
The Philippine Consulate General of Toronto says there are just over 139,000 people in Manitoba, Ontario, and Saskatchewan that are registered to vote in the Philippine election. Mail-in ballots are arriving and must be received by the Consulate General of Toronto by May 9th. Joanne Roberts, CBC News, Winnipeg.